Hey everyone, it's me Giovanni, and today this is going to be a little different. So, just in case you didn't see my last video, um, please, I want to remind you to stay safe, stay at home, and stay away from protests. Please, I beg of you. It will mean a lot to stay away from you-know-who's president right now and would probably destroy the entire world. Just saying. Just saying. Because, people are freaking out about this, and they still are, and I understand why. They're scared and they hate our current president. And even though I hate him for being a dictating asshole, I'm not scared of him. I mean, even by just looking at him. I mean, obviously, I'm not blind, but I don't care about politics. I don't care about voting. And, I said this before, and I'll say it again, whatever happens, happens. I don't care, at least anymore. I mean, it's still scary, but we need to stay safe. Stay at home. Stay away from the stuff happening in the world. But yeah, like I said, stay at home, stay away from protests, stay safe in general, please. Thank you. Anyway, so I saw my friend on Twitter, Lenny, they sent me the artwork that they made of my OC, Quinnsezl, and I liked it, even though it's not what I would perfectly imagine the character. It's good enough. And when I looked at the top, what her outfit was supposed to be, what they created about it, interpreted it, it more looks like this that you can see on screen right now, instead of Lenny, just in case you're watching this, thank you for showing me your amazing artwork of Quinnsezl. I love it. I love it just the way it is. Even though it's not something that I imagined for Quinnsezl to be, at least at that moment. But now, having recreating a sort of identical version of this outfit, being a knee-length dress with this bow or scarf, it's called the pussy bow. Yep, pussy bow. That was a thing during the 1930s, and still was during the 1960s. And it's still a thing today, of course. So, in a way, it's accurate to the 1960s, including the puff sleeves, since they were also a thing during the 1930s and 1960s. And I've said about the striped stockings that striped stockings were a thing during the Victorian era, and of course are still a thing today. And like I said about the whole striped stockings being part of the Victorian era to the 1920s, when they were worn by adult women, mostly the adult women wearing those striped stockings were prostitutes. Yeah, interesting. But anyway, so my current version of my character that you can see has her long knee-length hair, or her long hair going down to her knees, and this the Rapunzel-like hair was part of the Victorian era, the Edwardian era, and the 1940s, at least for a few girls. And during the Victorian era, this long Rapunzel-like hair was a symbol of wealth, like economic status of a Victorian lady, not just from her clothing, but from her hair. And in my personal headcanon about my own character, Quinnsezl is sort of wealthy. Anyway, let me just... There we go. This is what Quinnsezl's outfit would look like if she was in the 1950s or 60s. Well, I'll say I just said 1950s and 1960s because Quinnsezl has normal length hair, like natural long hair, like 14 inches long. She has a black bow in her hair in the back. She has short sleeves, wearing a knee-length dress, completely black. And the scarf around her neck is supposed to be like a 1950s neck scarf. Not like a pussy bow scarf. Of course, the black and white vertical striped stockings from the outfit that I just showed earlier, and the back black ballet flats. Now, this is what Quinnsezl currently looks like with her long hair, except this was the previous one of the previous photos. I updated her hair to be more accurate to what I have on my phone. Anyway, okay, Quinnsezl, her white dress with the Peter Pan collar. Instead of Mary Jane, she has black ballet flats and a black bow in her hair, which I think would be more doable for that type of dress. And maybe I might add the silver brooch back. I don't know. And this green version of her dress, I still like. I mean, I originally wanted to use this for like if she was in the Walton Files. But anyway. Yeah. Oh, and Lenny, just in case you're still watching this, I want you to do, not Mike or Mary, but Marilyn. Sweet dear Marilyn. Ugh. I love Mike Schmidt, Mary Schmidt, and my OC, but Marilyn Schmidt as well. Marilyn Schmidt does not have a canon physical appearance. She's never mentioned again aside from My Pop Ghost, where she's mentioned to actually have an interaction with her mom, being therapeutic, which is great. And Marilyn's physical appearance is unknown, aside from the fact that she might vaguely closely resemble her mother, which would make sense for her character, especially how she's named Marilyn, or at least her name originally being named spelled as Mary Lynn, like Mary. And you know what? I would feel like Marilyn would be nicknamed like Little Mary or Mary Jr. My God, that would sound weird. And like I said about Quinnsezl's outfit, the scarf was supposed to be a 1950s neck scarf. But you know what? I'm fine with the design that Lenny chose for Quinnsezl. I'm perfectly fine with this. In fact, I think it's more nicer than what I originally intended for like a 1960s version of her, of like a marionette inspired outfit for her. And she has her long hair, her really long hair. So that's great. And I also wanted to say something else. I watched someone's review about Alice in Wonderland, two adaptations, a 1966 television like stage play, sort of, that was realistic, where the characters that Alice encounters are just normal people instead of a bunch of like anthropomorphic animals, which I actually think is really nice. And Alice goes through a tunnel instead of a rabbit hole, due to her more realistic surroundings. Meanwhile, the Alice in Wonderland film from 1988 from Czech is really surreal and full of visuals, like puppets, cutout people, stuffed animals, and most of it is supposedly taking place in Alice's bedroom. And she wakes up in her bedroom completely fine, and she notices that her stuffed white rabbit is still missing, and she decides to punish the white rabbit when he comes back by cutting off his head with a pair of scissors. Now, two of those adaptations are not 100% faithful, at least in my opinion, about the original book. My personal adaptation of Alice in Wonderland that's faithful to the book is the 1985 two-part miniseries starring Natalie Gregory as Alice, who was 9 to 10 years old during the time of filming, and looks more closer in age to the character of Alice, who was supposed to be like 7.5 years old. And since it combines both Alice's adventures in Wonderland and Alice in the Looking Glass, or through the Looking Glass, I think it's really good. Even though it's not 100% accurate, it's still a much faithful adaptation of both books. And I love it. And Natalie Gregory as Alice is absolutely adorable, especially at the end when her mother has her joint tea. And Alice tells her mother that she'll see how she truly grow up. She really will, and that's so sweet. Anyway, that's all. Bye.